Coming up in today's review of AEW Dynamite, it's that time of the month for Malakai Black, the return of Death Triangle, and Darby Allin has a flamethrower, and more. Stay tuned. Welcome back to another video. We are 2 days away from Double or Nothing in Las Vegas, which I will be going to for the third year in a row, and I'm more excited than ever. But before that, we have our last episode of Dynamite, so let's get into it. The show opened up with Orange Cassidy and Will Osprey taking on Trent Beretta and the international champion Roderick Strong. There is just so much history between all these guys. Seeing Orange and Osprey teaming up is reminiscent of their match at Double or Nothing in 2022, and now they're brought together by Don Callis to fight Roderick Strong, who beat Orange Cassidy for the international belt and will be defending it against Osprey at Double or Nothing. Of course, Trent Beretta is here too, who will be facing Orange Cassidy in a straight up wrestling match this Sunday, which is worded as if it's some kind of stipulation, which it isn't. It really is just a normal wrestling match. Ironically, this is special because every other match at Double or Nothing has some kind of stipulation, whether it be for a title, in a steel cage, or something. This match was a non-stop brawl from start to finish, and you could feel the hatred between them. Even though neither of them were the legal man, once the bell rang, Orange Cassidy ran straight to attack Trent Beretta. But since Trent did end Orange's best friend's career, that's totally valid. One of my favorite parts of this match was Orange and Osprey taking turns performing a dive on Roderick Strong. Osprey did this insane spinning moonsault, which probably took years of training and skill to perfect, and then Orange Cassidy just falls on him. Nevertheless, Will Osprey was attacked by Wardlow, allowing Orange to be picked off with a flying knee from Trent Beretta and an end of heartache by Roderick Strong for the 1-2-3. They may have lost today, but I'm betting on both of these guys coming out on top this Sunday. Next, the Bang Bang Gang came out, who since the best friends split up, these guys are now my favorite trio in pro wrestling. Jay White takes the mic and calls out Pac, pointing to him as the only reason why they've started to attack him. This was interrupted by Pac on the Titantron, who may need some therapy, saying a 3v1 is a little unfair, so he called in his amigos, which is Spanish for Death Triangle. Penta, Pac, and Rey Fenix, who's looking more jacked than ever, rush to the ring to attack the Bang Bang Gang, which leads to a challenge for their unified trios belts at Double or Nothing. This was awesome. I was worried I wasn't going to see the Bang Bang Gang in Vegas, so I am extremely thankful for Pac for putting this together. I hope he loses though. After that, Chris Jericho, the Learning Tree, came out for commentary on the #1 contenders match for his FTW Championship at Double or Nothing between Hook, the wrestler Shibata, and the bounty hunter Brian Keith. Now let's talk about Brian Keith for a quick second. How do you call yourself the bounty hunter when you haven't won a single match? It's getting a little silly, especially here where he tapped out while being submitted by both Hook and Shibata, making the match at Double or Nothing a triple threat. Now with Jericho, I know the whole learning tree shtick might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I think it's pretty unique to have a narcissistic heel who believes he's improving other wrestlers just from his influence. And Jericho plays the role really well. Then we had a match with Takeshita ahead of his IWGP Championship Eliminator match with Jon Moxley at Double or Nothing. And if you don't like heavy speculations, borderline spoilers, skip to this time, it's like 30 seconds. I was surprised to see that this match was just an Eliminator match and not for the actual title. So I did some digging and found out that Takeshita is signed with DDT Pro Wrestling, a pro wrestling company in Japan. But the title that Jon Moxley has is from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and they don't want to risk the chance of Moxley losing the belt to Takeshita, because if Mox gets seriously injured and he's unable to continue, then oh no, because the biggest belt in your company is held by a wrestler from your competing company. So it's pretty safe to say that Takeshita won't be getting a chance at this belt, i.e. he won't be winning at Double or Nothing. But I'm gonna act like I don't know any of that, and AEW made this an eliminator match because they want to surprise us with Takeshita upsetting Moxley. That's definitely what's really happening. Totally. Anyways, for this match, there's not much to talk about. It was pretty much a squash. Takeshita gave Matt Sydal a Blue Thunder Bomb and a haymaker to the face for the 1-2-3. But while attacking Sydal after the match, Wild Thing hit and Mox came down to the ring with a mic in hand, presumably to have a conversation. But no, he walks up face to face with Takeshita, bops him in the head with it, knocking him out cold, and then he just walks away. I love Moxley. Next, it was a match between the AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland facing off against 18-year-old Nick Wayne, which perfectly embodies the meme Hydrogen Bomb versus Coughing Baby. So Nick Wayne is still a little upset that Swerve broke into his house and assaulted him a year ago, which he said sorry for. Just get over it. The highlight of this match was, I don't even know what you would call it. It was Swerve transitioned a powerbomb into a power slam, but he just did it so smoothly. It was pretty cool. This led into Swerve's mid-air side head kick, which I still don't know the name of, for the 1-2-3. The match was great, but it was so hard to focus on anything besides Swerve's band-aid that was dangling the entire time that just wouldn't fall off. Right when it ended, Swerve was attacked by the Patriarch, but after taking care of Killswitch, he starts chasing Christian around the building, who was running for his life. He even committed Grand Theft Auto to get away, but was blocked off by the returning Prince Nana. Swerve dragged Christian out of the car and delivered a DDT on top of its roof. He was even going to slam a chair on his head before Christian finally got away. I'm not too sure about this main event for Double or Nothing. Christian hasn't wrestled since, losing his title to Edge, and by the looks of it here, he's extremely scared of Swerve. For him to have a chance this Sunday, be prepared for a lot of interference by Nick Wayne and Killswitch. After that, there was a match with Malakai Black ahead of his TNT Championship match with Edge in a barbed wire steel cage. Here, he was facing off with Kyle O'Reilly, and their two wrestling styles just clicked here. It was a unique striking-based Muay Thai kind of match. A lot of round kicks, a lot of jumping knees, and a lot of elbow strikes. After picking up the win with the end, which is basically like a spinning kick to the head, Malakai is just standing in the ring when Edge starts to play his mind games, which caught me extremely off guard. This red goo comes from the ceiling and completely drenches Malakai. And what I want to know is, why was the PSI set so high on this thing? It looked like a pressure washer. I'm pretty sure that whatever that stuff was, 100% got on every single person in the front row. What can I say? It was pretty awesome. Then it was time for the main event. Bryan Danielson versus Satnam Singh. Why was this the main event? Is what I was thinking at the start. Oh, how wrong I was. So this match was put together by the Elite to injure Bryan Danielson as much as possible before Anarchy in the arena. And if that's your goal, then yeah, Satnam Singh is definitely a good choice for that. When they stood toe to toe, Danielson's face was at like nipple level. However, thanks to an accidental distraction by Sanjay Dutt, Danielson was able to kick the big man in the groin, which brought him to his knees, allowing Danielson to deliver a series of yes kicks. But once he locked in the label lock, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal attacked him, causing a disqualification. And from this point on, Danielson had to deal with a 1v4. There was a point he grabbed Jeff Jarrett's guitar to use as a weapon, but Satnam Singh just punched right through it. And once he was laid out, the entire Elite showed up to finish the job. So on this night, Danielson really had to deal with a 1v8. And in the words of Pac, that's not very fair, now is it? So Darby Allin gets dropped off at the arena by Tony Khan, and I started to think, what kind of Star Wars gun is Darby Allin holding? But when he showed up to save Danielson, it turned out to be a flamethrower, which if you're the Elite, obviously you don't want to burn. So mission accomplished, they ran away. Except for Nick Jackson, who Bryan Danielson threw through a table. This was such an insane way to close the show. Darby Allin definitely has more than a few screws loose, which makes me so excited for what he's going to do at Anarchy in the arena. And that's how I feel about every match going into this Sunday. It should be an amazing time. Anyways, that was my review of Dynamite. A fantastic show right before Double or Nothing. So subscribe so you don't miss a review of every Raw, SmackDown, and Dynamite. And as always, thank you so much for watching.